behind me used to belong to the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires. 22 years ago, a terrorist attack destroyed the building and the lives of 29 people. Now all that remains is this square and these flowers in memory of the lives that have been lost. The deadly explosion happened on March 17, 1992. It was the first terrorist attack. The second, 2 years later, against Jewish Community Center Amia, proved to be more deadly. 85 people were killed in the blast. In both cases, the culprits have yet to be found and tried. But every year, the families and friends of the victims hold a ceremony in this empty space.
The reason is to remember the dead and the wounded, and to claim for justice.
This year, the 22nd anniversary of the tragedy coincided with the joyous holiday of Purim. But the ceremony wasn't canceled. It took place the day after. One by one, the names of the victims were called out loud while red balloons were released. 90-year-old Carlos Susevich says he'll continue to come to the square where his daughter was killed to ask for justice.
For us, it's a duty and an honor to commemorate the victims of this terrible, terrible attack against the Embassy of Israel. And as always, it's important for us to hug the families, to let them know that we are with them. It's also an important and powerful message to the world that terrorism hasn't stopped 22 years ago. It's still a daily fight for all of us, for the people of Israel, but also for the people of the world. Only in the past 2 years, the embassies of Israel across the world have suffered more than 20 attempts of attacks. Some, sadly, were successful and others not.
The attack is being investigated by Argentina's Supreme Court. Some blame Syria, others Iran.
It's clear and all evidences point to Hezbollah, backed by Iran, in the attack against the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, which happened 22 years ago. And in fact, these are 22 years of frustrations because we never saw anybody arrested.
But the truth is that the culprits, whoever they are and whatever their reasons, are still at large. This balloon is all that remains of the ceremony marking the 22nd anniversary of the bombing of the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires. It says, "Here there was life. It was destroyed by a terrorist attack in 1992. This is Monica Yanakiev for JN1 in Buenos Aires.